What's up, you guys? I don't normally talk about these types of things, but I feel the need to really talk about this. Walk with me. Let's have a talk real quick. So, Vic Mensa did a cipher, and he was talking about X, calling him out on his domestic abuse, and really laying it in on him. And everyone is just really mad that he even had the audacity to do that. In my opinion, everyone is really missing the point. But let's just go through some facts real quick. Vic Mensa is a pretty good artist. He's not a mumble rapper. He's talented, but I haven't listened to his music since 2015. But also, if he were to come out with new music, I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll check that out. I'm not opposed to it. Also, he took time out to start a conversation that should be had amongst the hip-hop community, because hip-hop was not always about disrespect. It was not always about that. It was more flashy. It was personal. It was a voice for black people to be awesome. But now it's just about, I don't know, how much you can do to a woman. Women don't even have a voice that much if a man's rapping about them. That's the problem. So he's starting a conversation about that, which is big of him to do. The problem is that he decided to talk about it through a man that's not even alive. So X, rest in power, X can't even defend himself against the allegations and the confrontation that Vic presented to him, which is, that's normally a battle, which would have been cool, but, it's just a little bit of a low blow. You don't talk about the dead. Therefore, everyone's ignoring what Vic Mensa is saying just because he said it about a deceased man. Meanwhile, our generation, my generation, the next generation, probably the last one, too many people are being affected by music that encourages them to be sensitive to their feelings, but with no actual real solution-oriented outlet to deal with them, except for drugs, alcohol, intercourse, things that mask the problem. And that's just deemed to be okay. It's deemed to be cool. It's so cool that it goes outside of the culture of hip-hop, that it goes outside of black people, and white people love it. Or just not white people, but like all different cultures are into that now. And that's deemed cool. So you take a person who's dysfunctional, obviously dysfunctional, diagnosably dysfunctional, you give them a microphone and they amplify dysfunction to the world, and they're like, yeah, I'm dysfunctional too. What do we do about it? Let's sing about it. Let's sing about it. And that's deemed to be okay. On top of the dysfunction that I mentioned that's personal, these people are also taking their dysfunction out on others, and it's causing a loop and a domino effect. And when I say others, I mean, yes, men who are taking their anger out on women. Women who take their frustrations out on other women as well. Women who take their dysfunction out on men. It's just going to be this pattern. No one's solving the problem. They're just, trying to get rich off of the problem. And that's deemed to be cool. That's trap. That's awesome. People love that. Vic is the most recent person, at least, who's actually talking about it. It would be really monumental if that were something that could change in hip-hop. But obviously, when you start to talk about it, people are going to find every avenue around talking about it, including, in this case, the fact that he called out someone who can't speak for themselves. So instead of actually talking about it, everyone wants to fight him. That's not cool. Hey, can we also talk about how his cipher was actually pretty good? No? He's an actual rapper? He just freestyled? No? Okay. So, all of you are just talking about it and are super offended, but you're not gonna do anything except talk about it. You can talk about it till your mouth gets dry. What are you gonna do about it? He's actually trying to get something done. And yes, he's talking about it, but that's because it's something that actually needs to be talked about. But what do I know, right? I'm 20. So, a quick recap. I side with Vic on what he's saying. I side with Vic on trying to be solution-oriented. I side with him on sparking a conversation. The only problem is that he picked the wrong place and the wrong time, the wrong person. He just didn't do it well enough for it to be effective. I don't even know if there is a well enough way, but he tried, and that's what's important, in my opinion. So that's me talking about that, and I'm gonna go back to minding my business as much as I possibly can. Thank you, and have a good night, because it's nighttime here right now. I'm gonna be quiet. Starting now.